Hello, children. I'm back again with another new message. Today is about courage. I'm going to talk about courage. And I have a story to tell you. And this is a true story. It happened many hundreds of years ago, many years ago, but it is a true story. So I want to tell you this story about courage. Okay. Once, a long time ago, there was two armies, the Philistines and the Israelites. Now, the Philistines was a very bad people, very bad. The Israelites were good people. They feared God. They loved God. Okay, but the Philistines wanted to take over the Israelites and destroy them all. Well, one day they came upon, the two armies came on two hills. The Philistines were on one hill and the Israelites were on the other hill. And down below is a valley. So the Philistines had this big giant, and he was a giant of a man. He was a warrior in their army. He killed many people with ease because he was so strong and so big, about 5 times the size of a regular man. And he was their greatest warrior, the Philistines had. Anyway, he went down there for 40 days. He taunted, he challenged, he belittled the Israelite army. Even the bravest men in the Israelite army did not want to go down in that valley and fight that giant. They knew they would die. They knew they were going to their death. So they were afraid to go and they didn't go. But for 40 days, this giant taunted them and challenged them. Finally, one day on the 40th day, this young boy named David came forward and he goes, "I'll fight the giant." And the king of Israelite army says, You're just a boy. How can you fight a giant? You'd be killed for sure." And the boy says, "I'll fight him." So the king of the Israelites, he gave all his heavy armor to the boy to wear. Well, it was too heavy for the boy, and he goes, "No, I'm too confined. I can't wear this to battle." And so he took it all off. He grabbed 5 smooth stones and put them in a satchel that he had around his waist. It was like a little purse in those days, but he carried the stones in there. Well, the king said, "You cannot fight this giant, but go ahead. It's your death." Anyway, so the boy goes down to the valley down below to meet with the giant. The giant laughs. They're making fun of him. It's just a joke that he says to the Israelite army, "This is the best you've got to send? This little boy is supposed to fight me, the greatest, strongest man on earth?" He was so vain. Anyway, the boy just stood there, and the giant starts charging towards the boy. And he's throwing spears at him. He gets his big sword out, ready to just pounce on the boy and destroy him. The boy reaches in, gets a stone out of his satchel, and whips the slingshot around his head and lets it go. And when he did that, the stone hit the giant right in the forehead, cracking his skull. Down the giant went. He was gone. Everybody was in astonishment. The Philistine army couldn't believe it. The Israelites couldn't believe it. But anyway, this boy killed the giant. And this was somebody they never thought could do something this powerful. Now, how was it that this boy could take on such a huge action and go up against a giant that everybody was afraid of? Even the greatest warriors in the Israelite army didn't want to go up against him. How could this little boy who, just small, went up against this giant? How could that be? Because first he had to overcome his fear. That's what I want to talk about today. You have to overcome your fear. Fear, when you overcome your fear, then you are courageous. To have courage, you have to overcome your fear. Okay? You need to empower yourself. If you're being abused, tell somebody. telling somebody takes courage to do that because you don't know whether they're going to believe you or not. Have courage to tell somebody. If you feel alone, find a way to make yourself happy, okay? Like I said before, you can be your own best friend. Read a good book. They're very entertaining. Go jogging, go hiking, listen to quality music, not the music out there that's telling you to die or smoke drugs or all that negative music, not that. Listen to good quality music, okay? Talk to a pet, talk to an animal, talk to an ant. It doesn't matter. Talk to yourself out loud. There's nothing wrong with that. And most especially, talk to Jesus. Okay, Jesus hears you. Even if you think he's not there, you can't see him, he's there. He hears you. He loves you and wants you to talk to him. Now, if you're a victim of cyberbullying, turn it off. Turn the computer off. Tell your parents, tell a policeman, okay? It takes courage to tell. Don't sit in your room and cry and think, why do they hate me? Why are they doing this to me? Don't do that, okay? Tell your parents, tell a policeman, tell a neighbor, tell somebody, because it takes courage to tell somebody, because they'll say you're a tattletale or you're a snitch. No, you're not. You're taking courage for your own life. Take responsibility for your own life. When you're attacked with peer pressure, as I've talked about before, say no and mean it. Just say no and mean it. Don't say no with a question mark at the end of it. Put an exclamation mark there and say no and mean it. If you're afraid of living, dying or suicide is not the answer. That will make your problem bigger, because as soon as you commit suicide, you will regret it. You will wish you were back in your body and fought your problems, okay? Fight whatever is coming against you. Have courage to do that. Go towards your fear to have courage. Without fear, you can't have courage, okay? If there was no fear on this earth at all, there would be no courage, because you've got to overcome something to have courage. And say to yourself, I have purpose, I am important, and my pain is temporary. Happiness is in my future. I want you to say that over and over and over again until you believe it. I have purpose, I am important, and my pain is temporary. It won't last forever. Happiness is in my future. Now go towards your fears with courage, okay? It takes courage to do all the things I've said to do today. Think of that boy David, and we wouldn't even know his story today, all these thousands of years later, if he chickened out that day and did not have courage and said, no, I'm afraid to go up against that giant too, he'll kill me. We would not even know this young boy. But because he said to himself, I do not fear. And if I do fear, I'm going towards it anyway. And I'm going to conquer it. But once he got rid of the fear, he had courage to walk down that hill and meet that giant in the valley, and he killed the giant. Very unheard of in those days and even today. But you kids have courage just like David. So I want you to believe in yourself, know of your importance, know you have a purpose on earth. You were not put here by accident. You are loved, whether you know it or not. There are people in this world that will love you if we know what is going on with you. Have courage to tell somebody. It takes courage. Have courage to stand up to that bully that is bullying you in the hallways, in the classroom, out in the parking lot, and say, I like who I am. You don't scare me. I like who I am. Now go do something important because you're wasting my time. Okay? You say that to the bullies that are attacking you and walk away. Don't stay there and listen. Walk away. If they grab you and hurt you, tell somebody. Tell somebody. It takes courage to tell somebody. Do it. You have courage. You are strong and you can do this. Okay, kids. Once again, I love you. Inspirational Grandma 8. Please subscribe and like on my channel so I can keep bringing more messages to you. You kids are beautiful. Know that you're beautiful. Know that you're important, and know that you're wanted here on earth. You have a purpose, okay? And happiness is right around the corner for you. Please hang in there and wait until that happiness comes, or make it happen yourself. Okay. See you next time. I love you. Bye.